Alright, that is Agape for you. Hello, good evening. My name is Luke Davis from Agape Media, and tonight I'm really so excited to be here with you. And officially, we are having our first practical session today. We've been having a lot of theoretical discussions. You have gone through the notes, and we have also had some time, to go through around the software that we shall be using. But tonight, I want us to do something tangible, something practical. So, welcome to our graphics design classes that will be running for a period of 1 month, starting today. As we said, we shall be having our classes every Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you're in this class, just know you are in the right place, and we shall meet again on Friday, 8 p.m. Just keep locked to Agape Media. And if there's someone out there who might also want to join our class, please just get in touch with us and you shall be added to our class group. This is a free class, and you'll just contribute something little to facilitate our classes. But you can get in touch with us via our official office line, that is 0393 194 200. You can also comment on any video that we have on our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Alright, don't forget to do that, and also don't forget to like our Facebook page, that is Agape Media Uganda. So let's get done with this advert thing now. Let's just go straight and do something tangible tonight. So what you're looking at this time is the basic, or the official, or the default interface, or the default screen, or the default windows of Adobe Illustrator CS6. Now, for those ones who have been able to go through the notes, we said Illustrator is used for vector designs or vector graphics designs. We have two types of graphics. We have the vectors and the rasters. And in this class, whenever we're talking about rasters, we shall be using Photoshop, and when we talk about vectors, we shall be using Illustrator. So without wasting time, let's look at some things that we have here. Unlike for people who are in other classes, like music production or video editing class, where every time you open, you see like 3, 4, 5 windows. With graphics design, is actually very interesting. The interface is user friendly, because when you look up here, you see only one big windows, and we have air tools, and we have air tools, you have air tools, and what. So please, just let's get down and do something tangible. Okay, without wasting time, what do we have here? People, we've been using Microsoft Office Word, so the first option here, or the first tool that we have here is what we call the file, and the same things that it does in Microsoft Office Word, it's also here, only that is just a little advancement onto it. So please don't get scared. Now, with this option of file, we can create a new file, we can create from a template, we can open an existing file, we can also open the recent files, we can open in Bridge, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be very interesting. Okay, that is for file. Let's go to the next one. Next command here, we have what we call edit, and under edit we have things like undo, redo, cut, copy, paste. We know all that. So let's just keep the familiarity, and we just go to object. Here we have, now when we are dealing with objects, we shall be coming here, we shall be learning what transform means, to arrange, to group, some of the things we have encountered them before. The only thing here is a little bit more advanced, and yeah, so it's going to be very interesting. Now, one beautiful advice that I want to give you before we proceed: when you're doing graphics design, one more thing that you want to ensure is time. Graphics design takes a lot of time, and you want to take the least time possible, so that you can work on many things within the shortest time possible, meaning you can be able to make a lot of money within a small time. So that's the reason why most of the options that we shall be having, or the tools we shall be using, most of those commands, we shall keep introducing the shortcuts, so that if you can master the shortcuts, it would help you. For example, to group is Ctrl-G, to copy Ctrl-C, to cut Ctrl-X, to undo. Come on, all this. Undo, Ctrl-Z, redo, Ctrl-Shift-Z, cut. We've talked about all the things. Days and days and days. We've always been talking about the thing in different computer applications, so it shouldn't be new. We also have the type function, or the type tools, and under type we shall be dealing with the types, the fonts, the font style, the font size, the glyphs, and so on and so forth. So we shall be dealing with that. So why don't we actually do this, or introduce these tools in a practical way? Now, please, this should not scare you. We are not going to be this fast, okay? This is just introduction. That's why I'm trying to be fast like this. But our classes will move in a very slow motion to make sure everyone understands. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any more time, let us create our first project. Now, when you're in Illustrator, what we do is whenever we're working, we always create what we call an artboard. Now, in Microsoft Office Word, we would call this a page. It's a bad idea to go and just work in a space. You create a page where you're going to do all your work. Now, here we don't call it page, we call it artboard. So we create an artboard that we shall be doing our work from. So when you want to create the artboard, you can, we have a short one here. This tool here, as you can see, this tool is for artboard. So you can just click on that, and then you just, after clicking on that, you could come and drag around and add a new artboard. But we don't want to do that for now. Let's go to File, okay, then New, so that we can create a new artboard. Ladies and gentlemen, now depending on the speed of your computer, yeah, yours might be faster than mine. Mine is having some small slag, but let's go on slowly like that. So after clicking on New, let me cancel it and do it again. After clicking on File, then New, it will open for you this. Now you can change the file name. Let's name this Look 1. Sorry for using my name. And then on the profile, you can keep it to custom, okay? Custom. But if you're going to design your work for printing, please select print so that it can adjust its settings to the print the print setups here. But for today, we can always do custom, but fine. Now if we have chosen print, or if you're using for devices like you're going to share online, you can also do that. It changes, okay? The reason why I'm telling you this, there are some settings. For example, when you're using for devices, for example, if your graphics that, let me say it's a poster or logo, you're going to be sharing it on online, the color mode will be RGB because that one can be easily read by any device. But then if you're doing it for printing, you see the color mode will be CMYK. Now check in the notes, we have explained this difference. So always take note of the use of what you're designing. Will it be shared via media or devices only, or it will be printed out? Or if you're also going to use it for the website or for videos and films and basic RGB is red, green, blue, primary colors. Please don't get scared of that. So let's choose, assuming we are going to do it for devices. Let's say this is an online flyer that we're going to design. Okay, so what should be the size? It is you now to define the size. Okay, that's the reason why when you're choosing these things, you be careful. You need to know the size. What should be the size? Will it be an iPod? iPad, iPhone? I don't know how to pronounce this word. I was about to call it Zoom or Galaxy. Now, let's just stick to something like print. Because when we choose print, here it will bring us the sizes here. We are well versed with the F4, F5, you know, these are default print sizes. So let's just stick with that and let's choose F4. And we can choose the units. We can choose to have the units in points, but I think it's hard to read points, but we all know how to read centimeters. So let's stick with units, centimeters. Now orientation, here we have what we call the portrait orientation and then the landscape orientation. With the portrait orientation, of course, we all know that the height is always longer than the width, and with the landscape orientation, the width is longer than the height. So let's stick with any that we want. So for now, let's just take a portrait. Now if you take a portrait of an A4 paper, the width will be 21 centimeters and the height will be 29.7 centimeters. Okay, now these are the things down. Why we don't actually have time to waste on that. The bleed, the bottom left, what is like margin. Okay, here we don't actually need to talk so much about margin, so let's just skip that. Let's go ahead and click OK. Ladies and gentlemen, after hitting OK, your document should open. Now mine is showing here because the tool which is selected is Artboard. That's why it's showing these dotted lines at the sides. Now the first tool that I'm introducing you to is the first one that they have also mentioned up here, is what we call the selection tool. Please, I want to say this and I'm going to repeat it. The selection tool is the main tool that you should always be using around, because once you click on it, it brings you the normal arrow, meaning you can do everything normally. But if you choose another tool like this and you're doing something here and you accidentally click, something will change. You understand? Any tool that you're doing and you accidentally click something, something will change. So please whenever you're moving around and you're just looking for options here, please come and use what we call the selection tool. And the shortcut for the selection tool is V. You can just go ahead and hit V on your keyboard, and then you shall be able to come up with the selection tool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can always collapse these tools. These tools is showing in 2 lines. So you can see these little arrows here, these 2 arrows. Once you click it, it collapses. And all those tools that we had before will be aligned, will be put in 1 line. So don't be confused if you see it 1 line, 2 lines, okay? It's all the same. You can choose. So let me take it to 1 line so that we can see. Because if it's 2 line and I start saying the third one, it will be hard. Which one is the third? Is it this one or this one? Anyway, so let's have 1 line so that when I say the third one, you count 1, 2, 3. Okay, now without wasting time, let's go through the tools that we have. This is an introductory class, remember, and so we shall try our best to introduce all the things that we shall be using. And we shall also try to do something practical because we know we are just starting and we have a long journey ahead, but we should not take it for granted that our first class should be also interesting. So the first tool we said it's selection tool. If you want to select something, we shall always be using it. For example, if we had drawn some things here and let's say it was colored, let's say yellow. Sorry, I'm not NRM, please. I'm not even of this party, but I'm not political. Just take it. I'm not political. I'm just trying to draw some things so that we can have. So assuming we are drawn these things and you want to select them, you'll always come to the selection tool, then you click on it. And you can be able to move it, you click and drag it anywhere you want to take it, because you shall have selected selected the selection tool. Okay, so once the selection tool is clicked, you can always move anything. In other softwares, for example, Adobe Premiere Pro, which is for video editing, the same tool, it's called Move Tool. It's the same thing, does the same thing, because also it doesn't only do the selecting, but you can also use it for moving, for expanding, for turning things around. Okay, we can do a lot of things using the selection tools. Okay, and you can always spin it around, change the shape. That's under selection tool. Okay, we are all doing the left clicking. Now right clicking, when you right click, this is what it brings. So when you right click on an object, it will bring for you these options, but we are not interested in those options for now. Now let's go to the next tool, is what we call the direct selection tool. Now selection tool will allow you to select the whole object like this, but what if you want to just select part of an object? Now when we look at a square, so let's make this one back to a square. Okay, is it a square, even a rectangle? Okay, when we look at our rectangle here, we realize it has got 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 4 sides. From the direct selection tool, we can just click and we tell it's 4 sides. But from the selection tool, we say there are 4 sides. But if we use the direct selection tool, we can actually select only one side. For example, we can select only this side. So you see here, this side here is showing in the square at the corner, it is white inside. Here also the square at the corner inside, it's white, but here it is blue. It means this one has been selected, these ones have not been selected. So once you're using the direct selection tool, it allows you to only adjust that side. For example, we can click that side and we drag it and we change the shape. Okay, we can change actually a rectangle into another shape. We can change any to any shape, but you'll have to select a corner using the direct, when the direct selection tool is still selected, and then you adjust in any way you want. So assuming we want to make that symbol of Instagram. Is it Instagram? Telegram. Yeah, the logo for Telegram, something like that. So we can always play around. This is how simple it is to do graphics design. So we have made this shape out of a rectangle using a direct selection tool. Direct selection tool allows you to select the sides. Even for a circle, we can force this circle into another shape. For example, if we select this one and we bring it inside. See, ladies and gentlemen, what we have come up with. So assuming we're doing designs, we could play around and come up with any design we want from the basic shapes. Actually, when we come to the shape tool, we shall discuss more, and we're coming to it in a few seconds from now. So that is the direct selection tool. The next tool is what we call the magic wonder tool. Now, before we go ahead, each time you see a tool like this, it means it's only one tool. But if you see a tool with some white mark here down at the corner here, you can see that white stuff. It means there are some options under it. I mean, if you want those options under it, you click and hold. You click and hold. it will bring. So under it, so under direct selection tool, another option there is the group selection tool. So if you want to select on the whole group, you will use that one. Now let's go to the next tool, is what we call the magic wonder tool. That magic wonder tool, we are going to learn how it does its magic. Okay, magic wonder, how do we do the magic wonders? So we are going to learn how to do that once we have come up with some other objects we can use on magic wonder. So the next one is what we call the lasso tool. Lasso tool is for selection also. If we draw and we want to select only this one, so we would do that. So if we want to select these things together, instead of highlighting, like, we can just draw around it to highlight it. So lasso tool, it allows you to draw manually. You click and hold and draw it. So we are going to be using most of these tools, and we shall understand. Now, and under lasso tool, there's no another tool under it. The pen tool, it's here. Now, pen tool, it allows you to draw a pen. Okay, you can draw. Now we are using the pen tool, so we are adding points, we are drawing points. So this is it. We are actually drawing a shape, but using a pen tool, it will follow. Now that's what a pen tool does. Okay, this is what a pen tool does. So when we come to the selection tool and we move it aside, we realize it's actually a shape that we have drawn using a pen tool. So that is a pen tool for you. A pen tool, you can draw, use it for drawing. Under the pen tool, there are other options like add anchor points. Okay, let me explain what anchor points are. So, and we are still under pen tool, and now we are under add anchor points. So assuming we select this sorry, let me delete that. Let's use the direct selection tool again, and we select this symbol, this object that we have just drawn. Now this point here at the corner is what we call an anchor. An anchor point, it joins this line and this line. An anchor is like to anchor the lines together. So when an anchor point is that point where those two sides meet. So if we come back to the add anchor point, it means if we want to add another point here in the middle, we would come to add an anchor point. When it shows that plus sign, it means it's add anchor point which is selected. Please, we said you click and hold and choose the options which is under it. So we can also put another anchor here at this point. We can put one here. So once you put an anchor point, it means you can change the shape from there. We can also put there. So assuming we wanted to draw a star out of it, so we would come to that, then we come back to the direct selection tool, then we select this anchor point, then we try to draw our star. Okay, maybe we had another one here. We had another one here. We had another one here. We said we want to draw a star, so we can bring this one inside. You see, now people will know how to draw stars. I may not be so good at it, but I believe you can see there is something happening here. There is something happening here. Okay, so this is something very interesting that you can only do with Illustrator. You may not have this liberty to use your phone. You know, people were asking, what if we want to design graphics with our phones? You can actually do that, but can you really do all these things with your phone? No, but Adobe has given us a very, very good and modern software here, so you shouldn't be struggling. So that is it. You can see I'm playing around and I'm almost coming up with a star, a very nice star. So I can again come back and add another anchor point, yeah, so that I come to direct selection tool and pull this one down this side, then this other one, pull it inside, then I can pull this out, add another anchor point, let me say here, go back to the direct selection tool and move this one back inside. So now you can see all I have to do is just to adjust the way it's arranged. But I'm almost there with my star, and this star is from what? From a rectangle. Ladies and gentlemen, you see how beautiful it is. So graphics design is as simple as that. So we shall be playing around with all this. We shall be doing a lot of playing around with the shapes and sides and anchors and what. So let me not waste time on that. But you can see I've come up with a star from a rectangle. So we can always do such things using the add anchor point tool. Okay, now we also have delete anchor point tool. So assuming you don't want this star to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. You want it to have 5 sides, so you can delete. So what you have to do, use the direct selection tool and first click so that you can see the anchor points. Then you come to this delete anchor point, then you click on the one you want to delete. So let's say we want to remove this. We just click here, it will disappear. We can also remove this so that we can have only that. Then we can now bring this. So you can see our star, which was having very many sides, we have reduced it by one side. You can see how beautiful it is. So we can have all these functions. We can play around with it from Adobe Illustrator. And we are going to be doing all this together. So ladies and gentlemen, relax. We're going to do practicals, okay? For now, just relax. Now, the next one is what we call Convert Anchor Point Tool. Now, assuming you want to change, for example, in this anchor point, it is sharp at the corner. Actually, let me give an example. I was somewhere and we were trying to draw a fish, and we know we had a circle. Like this, and we wanted to turn this point into the mouth of the fish. So what we had to do is just use the direct selection tool and click onto that edge, that anchor point. Then we come to this convert anchor point tool. Then you come and click onto it. Once you click it, it will be converted from a curve. It will be converted to a sharp point. So you can now create. It was a circle, you can see, but now it's having a sharp point. So if you don't want to do that, let me first undo by using Ctrl Z. If you don't want to use all that coming here, doing that, you can always let's first select. You can just select that point where you want to change. Then once you select it, it will bring you these options up. So the tool that we were talking about is this one, convert the selected anchor point. So it's either this one or it's this one. It's all the same. Okay, so once we click that one, it changes. If we want to take it back to oval, we could use that. So it's the same thing. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we said these are the tools, so we can take it back to the pen tool. Next is what we call the pen tool, pen or the type tool. Sorry, this one was the pen tool. Sorry, this is type tool, typing for typing. So just click on type, bring it somewhere here, just click somewhere and start writing. My name is Luke. So we have just typed something like that. We shall be learning a lot about typography. We shall be playing around with it, how to increase the font size. Don't worry, it's not part of this class. In this class, we're supposed to just introduce how to change the font style to any that you want. Let's say we want that one. We shall be playing around with it. We can play around and change it and make it bold, change the color, make it nice, create a shadow, do all these things. We can always do that. So we shall be doing a lot about these things. So for now, all you have to do is just to relax. Okay, just relax. So you can see what I've just done. I've created this, so you can always do all that, and we shall be learning it in our classes, in our upcoming classes. So just hang in there. Make sure you don't miss any class, because if you miss, you'll miss all this. Now, that is the type tool. Under type tool, we said when you see that white thing means there are options down. Under it, we also have other options. For example, type area tool. If you want to type in an area, you can always do that. So you have to create a path. For example, here, let's say we have to select a path, and I don't have a path. Yeah, okay, there's this one. So if I type, it will follow the same shape of that. That is what we call the type area tool. Another one is the type on a path tool. This one also allows you to type on a path. Like a path is the sides of those the lines that joins together on an anchor point. So that is it. We can also choose that. But what I wanted to show you is the vertical type tool. You have seen those ones designing posters for campaign. They write vote, vote, like this. Yeah. So that is it. You have to come to this type tool, then you go to the vertical type tool and you do that. Now under it still we have options like vertical type area tool, the vertical type on path tool, all are the same. So let's just skip that. Then the next one is what we call the line segment tool. We can be able to draw a line. After drawing a line, you can we can paint the line black, we can increase the size of the line, we can do anything we want. We can always do that. Okay, so we can actually change a line into a shape. So you can see we have just drawn a triangle using lines, and we can decide to change this side of the line to green and this side to mixed colors. So you can see we can do all that from the line segment tool. Under line segment tool, we also have other options like an arc. We know an arc what it does, like that curved one. We can always do that. Apart from an arc, we also have the spiral tool. We know what a spiral is. This one here. We can also do that. Under it still we have what we call the rectangular grid tool. Okay, like for people who draw tables, we can change the way it's painted. We can change the size, let's say 1 or 2. Let's use 2. So we can always have this. So you see, now our page is getting full, our artboard is getting full, but we are still just starting. So this are some of the tools we shall be using. And next is what we call, sorry, I'm done with this, so let me just take it back to the line tool. So next is what we call the ellipse tool. The shape tool. And now under shapes tool, we have the rectangular tool, where it allows us to draw a rectangle. And remember, we always, whenever you use the tool, you always come back to the move tool or the selection tool, because you can use it for making selections and what and what and what. So you can press and hold so that you can change from one shape to another and have this also. You can also press and hold and have your circle. You can press and hold and change it to a polygon. Let's change the color of the polygon to a different color so that we have variety of stuffs there. We can change it to a star that we wanted, this same star that we had drawn. We can also draw another star like that. So these are some of the shapes that we can be playing around with. Remember, we can convert any shape to any shape we want using the direct selection tool and the add and remove anchor points tool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is not easy to talk for so long, so I want us to take a short break, and when we return, we shall look at more of the tools. My name is Luke Davis from Agape Media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also to reach to us in case you have any problem. If you're facing any difficulties in our classes, just don't hesitate to reach to us. You can send us an email via agapemedia@gmail.com, or you can just reach us or call us directly on 0393 194 200. So let us take a short commercial break, and when we return after the break, we shall be doing a lot more on other tools that we shall be using in Adobe Illustrator. For now, bye bye.